Good evening, Crawley fans, and welcome to episode 27 of Talk of the Town. I'm riding solo today as my friend TC isn't here, but before we kick off the show, let's check out how the Reds got on Tuesday night against Bristol Rovers.
Secure our defense, secure your home.
I'm protecting our goal. You should protect your home with Secure 15 Innovation, Fire and Security.
Yeah, disappointing result for the Reds here at the People's Pension Stadium. Just couldn't do enough to get a point against a very good Bristol Rovers side. Before the game on Monday, we caught up with the skipper George Frankham after the press conference to check out his thoughts on the season so far. George, thank you for joining us. It's just a sort of quick update, really, catching up with the skipper. How would you sum up our season so far?
Positive, but also frustrating. Obviously, in the dressing room, we feel like we've got a squad that can challenge higher than where we are in the table at the minute. But we have missed key players for big chunks of the season, so we realise that, but at the same time we still strive to be doing better than what we are. But you know, it's not doom and gloom. We've still got a chance of sneaking in there, so we just got to make sure that we're on it for the next 13 games and just give it everything we've got.
It is a shame, because I suppose, I'm not sure I'll ask your opinion in a minute, but certainly in the time that I've been here, it's been, I think, one of the most positive seasons that we've had. You know, it looks like one of the best squads we've had in such a long time, but the only word you can really say is ruined. It's being ruined by these injuries that we spoke to the medical team last week. They're not necessarily injuries that, they're not muscle injuries where you sort of look at going, oh, why have we got so many of them? They're such freak injuries that players are just missing 2 or 3 games, or shoulder injuries where people are missing months out of action.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the frustration of it, because I think if we've had the key players to choose from all season, then maybe we'd be in a more healthier spot in the league. You don't know. Could be an excuse, but I don't think it is. But yeah, you know, we've still got plenty of football left, so you know, we'll give it our best shot, and hopefully we can still achieve something at the end of the season.
How's it been being skipper for the, obviously this is your 2nd season in a row now, you know, obviously we've had plenty of new lads this season.
Yeah.
How have you been finding it?
Yeah, just the same again as last season, you know. I've said before in the press that it's such a great squad and great atmosphere to be around all the time, so being captain is almost like an easy job, because everyone's pulling in the right direction. The gaffer's created a great atmosphere within this squad and brought the right people in, so it's almost like a seamless task, really.
Yeah, obviously we lost Bradders the other week. He's gone to Eastleigh to be manager. You know, a great opportunity for him, and also a great opportunity for Lewis Young. You know, he stepped up. You've known Lewis for a long time. Obviously, you two played together in the same squad. You know, Lewis, with the players that are still here, hasn't necessarily played with many of them, but he's coached a lot of them. How have you been finding his transition so far? Yeah,
amazing. Like last season, obviously he went into first team coach role, and you know, he's took to it like a duck to water. So I played with Youngie, was a really good player. He's got a really good football brain. He's a really good coach. He's good with the younger lads who you obviously don't see that much on a Saturday. Great for nurturing them through. And now he's obviously stepping up in Bradders' shoes, and that's a great opportunity for him also. And he'll transition brilliantly once again, I believe. So yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, and at the time of speaking, we're just about to play against Bristol Rovers on Tuesday night, the 4th home game out of 4 in a row. How have you been noticing how much of an impact the fans have had this season? Obviously, last season, your first season as skipper, they were only here for 2 games. So.
Yeah. Like obviously last season we didn't have them, so that was such a shame, because last season there was some really enjoyable moments as well. But it's been great to have them back. You know, football's nothing without the fans, like any sport. So you know, we welcome them coming in, as many of them as possible, and cheering us on, because you know, when we're giving energetic performances and we get them on their feet, it's a great feeling. So yeah, hopefully we can give them some more wins, starting with Tuesday night.
Crawley Town Football Club has partnered with My Favorito, the fan engagement platform that rewards fans with exciting prizes and memorable experiences. Now every time you spend with the club or a participating sponsor, you can earn loyalty points. You will also get Crawley Town loyalty points every time you buy tickets or merchandise, and every time Crawley score a goal or win a game. Try your luck by spinning our instant prize draw and have the chance to win even more points and amazing prizes, such as a Crawley Town signed match ball. Equally, you can use your hard-earned loyalty points to redeem fantastic loyalty rewards, such as 125th anniversary scarves and merchandise. Matching hospitality tickets, personalised messages from the players, and signed match-worn shirts are also available. Make sure you're quick so you can beat your friends and reach the top prizes, as there are only a limited amount available. New prizes and sponsors will be added across the season, so make sure you always check the app for updates and new ways to earn loyalty points. Download the My Favorito app, join the Crawley Town FC community, and start earning loyalty points today. Yeah, really good to chat with the skipper before a game. Always provides a good insight, and it was good to get his opinion on the new appointment of Lewis Young as assistant manager as well. One of the highlights of Tuesday night's game was seeing Kwesi Appiah return into action. I caught up with our leading goal scorer ahead of Saturday's game against Port Vale. Kwesi, thanks for joining us. We're on episode 27 of Talk of the Town now. You've been getting involved, but you're finally back to being playing football. You know, I'm sure you're delighted to be back.
Definitely. Episode 27, man. Congratulations, guys. One hell of a
We're getting there.
Yeah, excited to be back. Good 45 minutes the other night under my belt. Now I just got to push on now and get back to the form I was in before I got injured. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, obviously everybody knows behind the scenes you're doing your degree. I suppose the only positive about being injured is, I suppose, those long Saturday away trips where you're not travelling with the squad. You might have a little bit more time to do that.
I'll be honest with you, it's the other way around for me.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm travelling is when I get the actual time.
Okay,
I
yeah.
sit on the coach for 5 hours. I won't just be sitting on doors doing nothing for 5 hours. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's actually the other way around. I'm looking forward to the trip tomorrow. You know, pack my laptop and do some work on the way. So yeah. That's how it works for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, Port Vale tomorrow, obviously, we're expecting nothing else but a tough game, but, you know, you're back. But we've had so many unlucky injuries this season, haven't we? You know, we've just done the press conference with the gaffer, and it just seems endless at the moment. Obviously, just want to get your perspective on that as a player.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a part of the game, and quite a sad part of the game, you know, and an unfortunate part of the game. You know, a lot of managers will say it's bad luck here and there, you know, for them when they're trying to select a team and they've got a player that they would like to play that's not, you know, not available. It's hard, you know, and we've done well at the moment to people who have stepped in places of those who have been injured, have done the job capably. And of course, you know, it's just the ups and downs of the season. It's always going to be the case. You're never going to have the full strength team to pick from, unfortunately. But yeah, as a player, it's just about avoiding it as best you can and just staying fit. So, you know, if you're unlucky, you're unlucky, but it's unfortunately part of the game. Yeah,
it is sad because we've done plenty of these interviews before where we've, you know, it's quite amazing really how many interviews we've had to start with. Great to see you back, because almost everyone's had their fair share of injuries, but it's just really how did you find at that time? Actually, we speak to some of the lads and they say it's just not so much physically but mentally it's just so hard, you know, knowing that you're out for 6 or so weeks, having to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, as I mentioned before. You know, unfortunately I've had a longer term injury than that previously, which kept me out for a long time, which was really when I started to figure out that the mental side of the game is really important, you know, and how you cope mentally would ultimately determine how well sort of your recovery goes and how fast you can sort of progress with it. So from that point of view, mentally, I'm definitely in tune with where I need to be and what I need to be doing mentally to get myself in the right frame of mind to cope with it. But it is tough and it's sad, you know, sitting on the sideline, you know, seeing all the boys playing out there, they're winning games, enjoying themselves, they're buzzing, and you're not really involved. Obviously, you're part of the team still, but you're not involved in those games. So that's hard to take. But again, back now, so you know, I don't wish the injuries on anybody, and everybody that is injured in our team at the moment, you know, I wish them a speedy recovery, and you know, it's mentally tough, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, was it more frustration for you when you got injured? Obviously, you're our top goal scorer, you still are, but you know, at that stage you're playing every game, you're scoring almost, I think you were averaging at least one a game at this stage, and then all of a sudden you just pick up just an injury just like that. It just must have been incredibly frustrating.
It is frustrating because not only, you know, the form I was in and so on and so forth, but the team was playing really well, and you know, we were in a good place as a team. Unfortunately, it happened so randomly. It's not like it was you know, a gradual build up, and just one day all of a sudden it just in training. So from that point of view, it's even more frustrating because, you know, I didn't see it coming from anywhere. I just felt in great shape. I felt in great condition. So, yeah, again, as the gaffer mentioned earlier, you know, working incredibly hard behind the scenes, knowing that we don't have any reserve games or friendly games to get our fitness up. So working incredibly hard just on those things to try and make sure that when I'm called upon, I can give what I need to give to the team and make sure my output is good enough.
Yeah, how was it sort of watching the lads from the sidelines? And I know, for example, on the away trips, you'd always be watching on iFollow because you were always the first person to comment on Twitter saying, like, let's go, what a win that is and everything.
Yeah. So, obviously, support the team as best you can from the sidelines. It's nice when the team's winning. Obviously, it just breeds confidence amongst the group and it takes away from, you know, maybe you missed a little bit or whatever else. So, that's quite nice. It takes a little bit of pressure off you coming back from injury. So all those things are wicked, and we went on a good run in the games that I was out. So that's nice for the team to manage and do so well. So I was buzzing for the boys, but obviously a little bit sad not to be a part of it.
You speak to the gaffer obviously every week in the press conference, and the common thing that we always get is, and it is true, like we often wonder what this team is capable of with everybody fit at the same time, because I'm struggling to remember myself a time where, you know, not necessarily because obviously you can't pin these are our best 11 because we've got so many good players, but even a time where you can just think of everybody that you'd have on the bench and in the starting lineup, you can't really, because everyone's been injured at different times.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. I can't imagine as a manager pulling my hair out, thinking, damn, I just want to get this team out on the pitch so that we can, do whatever we need to do. So it must be frustrating at times for them. But yeah, I can't think of a moment either where we've had everyone available. And like I said before, it's not often that you do have everyone available. It's just you've got to make do, and those that step in, for those that are injured, they've got to be at the races and ready, So that's an important part of it as well, making sure those who aren't playing or aren't regular players in the team, that they're ready to step in when needed. And that's quite important as well.
Yeah, and I suppose it's going to be a little bit strange for you coming back in. Obviously, when just before you were injured, you were hitting form. You had a great link up front. You had Nadders alongside you, and then Nico often playing as the number 10. You come back in, Nico's injured. You didn't even get the chance to play with him, unfortunately. Aramida, he's come in, he's then got injured as well. So you're left with, you never played with Isaac before. So obviously, there's only so much you can do in training, isn't there? So I suppose it's going to be a little bit different when, you three are playing together.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game of football, so we know we're on the same team. So we've got to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that's a big part of it. Obviously, the time I spent out, I've spent a lot of time watching training, obviously, apart from doing my rehab. So I know what qualities those guys have that have come into the team. And like you said, we had a good thing going beforehand. It don't mean that we can't find a rhythm again, whether it be different personnel or different shape or whatever it is. We'll be able to put those connections together, and we'll be back firing.
Yeah, finally from me, I can imagine it was just a great feeling to get back out there in front of the fans. Obviously, just before you got injured, you managed to get your own chant going. I can't remember what the song is based off, but I'm sure you're aware of the chants in the crowd.
Yeah, it's nice, and the fans have been very supportive, not just to me, but to the whole team. So it's very nice to have that sort of connection with them, and it does spur you on, and it makes you feel welcome and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a nice feeling, and it gives you a little bit of extra energy out there on the pitch.
Yeah, always a pleasure to chat with Kwesi, our leading goal scorer, and hopefully he can return to action with some more minutes on Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, it's going to be a very tough game. Two very evenly matched sides, both pushing for the playoff places, both sort of flirting around outside it, so it should be a very good game, and we can't wait to see loads of you up there. But before we talk more about that, let's see how Port Vale got on in their last fixture against Colchester. Yep, a certain Tom Dallison on the score sheet as Port Vale lost 1-0 to Colchester United. We can't wait to see lots of you up there on Saturday. Your away support this season has been absolutely fantastic. We've just finished 4 home games on the bounce, so I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to getting back on the road, back on the tracks, however you travel up to the away games, and we can't wait to see you up there. There's only one thing left to say, and I'm going to leave my mate Kwesi Appiah to say it for me.
No worries. Come on, you Reds!